Welcome to Seriously Speaking. On the show today, I have with me, very quickly, that's what I'm going to do, introduce Jimmy. Nice to have you on Seriously Speaking.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll also introduce a director with us here, Bori.
It's good to be here.
And then the last person is Tabia. Come in here again, because I said, this is home for Tabia.
Yes, yes indeed. Welcome to the show. So today we'll be talking about the social pressures that influence Nigerian youth, that encourage people to pursue materialism and basically take shortcuts, and the easy way out towards, making it big. That's the topic for today.
Well, so I let you do that, but I'll take a break. You can see that they are all young. They're in the generation that understands these things, but we are in the generation that worry about these things. So we'll be right back on Seriously Speaking on this panel if you don't go away. So welcome back. I promised the last time Tabia was here that I will ensure that if I have a conversation that I thought she should manage, she would present this show. Tabia is like my daughter, more or less, those of us in the industry. Yeah, I'm very proud of her, and Tabia is very outspoken. The thing is, okay, guys, the thing is, it was an article that Tabia actually wrote in the Vanguard. She writes for Vanguard, amongst other things, of course, that kicked off the idea in my head about what's happening with all these Yahooism. We've heard Yahoo in the past. And about the time I wanted to do this was also when a particular club was raided in Lagos, and they picked up some young men. And I thought, you know what? We should talk about this thing seriously. And I would like to start with Tabia. When you sat down to pen that conversation, what was driving you in that piece?
Well, it was basically around the time, so two things happened simultaneously, which was very interesting. There was the lazy Nigerian youth controversy.
That's right.
And then, barely maybe a week or so later, that club was raided. And, it just struck me how, first of all, on one hand, we get so offended, Nigerian youth and general public, we get offended when we hear certain things about ourselves. We say, oh, why would someone say that about us? But then the reality of it is that although, yes, and then again, I don't think anyone believes that all Nigerian youth are lazy, all Nigerian youth are corrupt, no. But there is a significant part of the population that is very comfortable, and that's both young and old, actually. We are very comfortable in Nigeria with quick money, people who can flash that cash, people who can afford to make you travel to all kinds of, destinations or whatever, but then you don't know how these people make their money, or rather, more interestingly, that it is made through...
But you ignore it.
But you ignore it, exactly.
No, you see, one of the areas that's mostly vilified, if you'll agree, is the entertainment. Well, that's where Jimmy works. Jimmy manages a lot of artists. One of them is the band, and, that's the area you work.
Yes.
I don't know if you're a lazy youth.
Well.
But this Yahoo thing, is it true that the entertainment industry is giving us examples that are really not very... I mean, if an entertainer one day wakes up and says, I'm giving my girlfriend or my mother or whatever a car that is worth millions of naira, you won't blame young people who want to be like that.
I mean, to be honest with you, the entertainment industry is as much an influence as...
Good or bad?
Good or bad? It's 50%, it's half and half, because it's worse now because of the access people have to the lifestyle of these artists. I mean, we've always had artists that lived larger than life. I would say Shina Peters at the time lived a larger than life, but people didn't really know how they couldn't get access to that. Now, in this current day and age, it's so easy to see a Davido buying a Porsche for his girlfriend. It's so easy to see Wizkid taking his kid to go shopping at Gucci.
So you're blaming social media in essence?
I'm saying it's the access to that information that drives you to want to do that. Now, if I give you an example, the youth of Nigeria, for me, are clearly in a society where we're more about the flashy life. We're more drawn towards the things that are flashy. If you have the ability to make an impact and be seen as someone that is doing well, they just want that. They crave that attention so that people can see them, I'm a star, I'm living the life. So they'll do whatever it takes to get that.
Now, you're a producer, and you produce content. What kind of content do you think people are dying for? And is it a function of what the people want or what they are being given?
So if you look at current trend now, reality shows are doing really well. And
especially the things like Big Brother.
Exactly.
Where you want to see what's happening in the next person's life.
And then following a celebrity's life, seeing how they live and all that. Those are the things that really trend right now.
Is that good or bad? I will ask that again.
Well, again,
people know that it's not real. That's another thing, that it's not real.
So I don't think, for some of these celebrities, it is real.
What do you mean it is real? They will pop.
They do. They live
like that?
Yes, they do. So, but the thing is, it's left to those who are, watching these things to understand that, okay, they've worked hard to get to this point where
Did they really?
Well, in some cases they did.
So you know how, I'm going to go a bit religious here and say, you know how the Bible says your talent will make you stand before kings? If I do something with my talent and I stand before a president or a wealthy man, and he gives me 10 million, I worked for it because my talent got me to this point where he gave me that money. As opposed to, I go to sit in a cyber cafe or I'm trying to dupe someone of their money. I did work for it. I put in the work in the studio.
And that's the benefit of it.
So those are the benefits of my hard work.
Can I just, come in and say something very quickly? What I find interesting is when you look at how entertainment industries function abroad and how they function here. Here, what you just described now, that sponsorship of a Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so who is rich or wealthy, giving a car or a sum of money. That doesn't happen abroad because the industry is structured in a way the artist makes money off of sales of their record, of their book, of their whatever. So that's a direct dash that we do here, that gift-giving culture. But wait, what I'm trying to say is no. It happens and it's a very what's it called, specific thing. It's an endorsement. It's a company, not an individual. So that removes the temptation of that you have that status-driven thing that we do in Nigeria.
It's what you're allowed to know because we're dealing with Nigerians here. So it's easy for us to relate with. I know that big man that gave this person this money. So
where did the big man get the money from?
That's the question you need to ask, not why is he giving the artist.
Who travel to the Middle East to perform at a child's birthday, and they get paid even more than they will if they were going
for Nigerian child.
No. Even Nigerian child.